Television Talk Show. When you come back. Welcome to Smiles Television Talk Show. I'm your host, Stephanie Anthony Miles, and you know what? It's giving time. And we have a great broadcast for you today. We're going to be talking with some individuals who are simply giving from their heart. Nobody's paying them to do it. They just want to give back to the community. You're going to love this broadcast. Remember, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He was crucified and buried, and he rose on the third day. Confess with your mouth that he is Lord. Believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, and the scriptures teach that you shall be saved. Stay tuned for more smiles. Keep smiling. Oh, you caught me reading my Monitor newspaper again. I try to read my Monitor newspaper as often as I can because the Monitor newspaper in East St. Louis, Illinois keeps us abreast of activities going on in our families, with our friends in the state, the country, and even the world. We support the Monitor because they've been in business since 1963. They know the newspaper business. Support the Monitor newspaper right here in East St. Louis, Illinois. Now let me get back to reading my Monitor newspaper. Welcome back to Smiles Television Talk Show. I'm glad you stayed with us. I'm sitting here with two individuals, and we have two more that's going to come on after this portion of the broadcast. But right now, we're going to talk with Ms. Shamika Weatherby because she has a heart for giving, and they're planning a great dinner for the community, along with her deacon from Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, Deacon Dwayne Hines. Thank you, Shamika Weatherby, for coming to Smiles Television Talk Show. And thank you, Deacon Hines. It's great to see both of you and to have you on the broadcast. I've been trying to express to our audience the heart that you have and the heart to give back to the community. We know Thanksgiving is coming up.
Yes.
And so please tell our audience what's going on November 22nd.
Yes.
On November the 22nd, we will be having a pre-Thanksgiving dinner for people in need, our citizens of East St. Louis, Illinois. Anybody is welcome. Our doors will be open. We will have free food, clothes, hats, gloves for the people in our community. It will be November the 22nd from 3 p.m. to 7 at the Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House located at 1200 North 13th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois.
Wow, wait a minute. You said free hats, gloves, coats, and food.
Yes.
Deacon, how are you guys doing all of this?
Well, we reached out to some people, and we have the support of my church, which is the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, where the Reverend Cornell Brown Sr. is our pastor. And when Sister Weatherby, she brought it to me, I was more than happy to help her out. And God put it on her heart to do it, and she brought it along to the pastor, and he was more than happy to do it. It's just something that I think that we should consider doing more often, other than just Thanksgiving Day, because every day is a day of Thanksgiving. But this is like you said, this is a practice run for us, and we're gonna continue to do it as part of our service, not only to our church, but service to our community as well.
You know, and I'm going to say the date and time as much as possible to make sure that our audience gets it. So there will be a Thanksgiving dinner
Yes.
and giveaway of clothing and coats and things of that nature on November 22nd, which is Sunday,
Yes.
at 3:00 p.m.
Yes.
at the Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House.
Yes.
You know, you really can't beat that.
Yes.
Shamika, I knew that you had a heart for giving just by the way you helped care for my mom. And so this is really showing itself in different ways. Where did you get that?
I would say from my grandmother. She raised us, and she always gave. And it was never a time that she wasn't giving. And she would always tell us to always have our hands open, because if you keep your hands closed, how can God bless you? If you're not giving nothing out, how can God give you when your hand is always so tight? And she still say that to this day. So I've always had a niche for giving, but you know, when you're younger, you tend to veer off and do other things. But as I'm getting older, I realize what's more important. So that's what's making me go on this journey,
Mhm.
you know, and a lot of people be like, well, don't stop there. I don't intend to stop here. This is just a building block. And to reach out to some beautiful, wonderful people that are willing to support me makes it all that much more better.
Right, and Mount Olive is a missionary Baptist church.
Yes.
But personally, we can talk about you and your heart, but as well as the church having a mission to be missionary.
Yes. We at the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, we have a Thanksgiving food drive per se. We collect names and people that from other members to their families, and we give away the Thanksgiving baskets and all and stuff for people that we would think are in need. But to be honest, which is a lot of people in our church itself that are in need. So when Sister Weatherby, when she first asked me about it, it dawned on me that, hey, we need to try doing this. And it just so happened that she called me, but I was sitting in the pastor's study, so she happened to show up
At the right time.
at the right time. And I really believe this young lady here, she's a woman of character. Whatever. This is my first time ever working with her on anything, but I know she's one of my faithful sisters in the church, and whatever God has put on her heart to do, I know she's going to succeed in it because she followed through what she says and what she asks people, and she would not ask nobody that she think wouldn't follow through, but everybody deserve a chance to follow through on what she have asked them. So I mean, it's one of them things that, like you said, we are a missionary Baptist church, and we are a giving church. My pastor, he's a very humble pastor. He reaches out to people, whether they're members of the church or whether they're people off the church, and we're learning from his experience as giving to reach out to other folks. Not saying that they don't have, but if they're asked, if you ask, you shall be given too.
That's right. And once again, the date for the Thanksgiving dinner will be Sunday, November 22nd, 3:00 p.m. at the Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House. Something you keep saying is talking about the needy. And when we first started talking prior to the cameras coming on, I said, oh, you're feeding the homeless. And everybody in the room looked at me and said, well, we don't want to call people homeless. Give me that train of thought.
Well, how about, you want to respond, sister?
I feel like this. A friend of mine, when I pitched the idea to her, she said, well, Shamika, we're all a paycheck away from being homeless. She said, lose your job or get sick and not be able to go to work for a couple of months, and you don't have any savings. What's going to happen? So that really opened my eyes, like, wow, I never thought about it that way. So that's why I try to not use the word homeless, because everybody that's in need aren't homeless. It's people right now that has a roof over their head but doesn't have a piece of chicken in their refrigerator. So we want to reach out to those people. We want to let them know, hey, you can come fellowship with us, and we will not be passing judgment. And if we got something there and you're in need of it and we can provide it, we don't have a problem with that. We're going to have music. We're going to have hot food. I mean, it's just, we want them to come out and have a good time and fellowship with us.
That is such a great idea, because we were talking also prior to the cameras about a circle of love, in essence, a circle of giving back. And I use the analogy, I have a brother who's a minister, and he told me one time, he said, Stephanie, there is no pride in the Godhead. The Father sent the Son. The Son prays to the Father. The Holy Spirit came to speak of Jesus, and it's like a circle. And if we would live like that, if we would live giving one to another, what a better word. And you guys are demonstrating that.
Well, this just might be a turning point in somebody else's life. It just stop with us as being, who we are, what we're doing. It should be a turning point in somebody else's life, that they might want to follow us in what we're doing. And it should carry on into not just on that Thanksgiving day, because I remind you that every day is a day of Thanksgiving.
That's
every
right.
day is a Christmas day. Every day is New Year's, if God allow you to wake up. But it just should be, this community me personally, haven't seen a lot of giving back haven't reached out to people.
But you know what? It seems like when I was younger, and I'm not giving you my age, but when I was younger, it seems like there was more of it. It seems like it's changing, but we don't have to let it change completely. And maybe what you're doing would help reinstitute that.
Yes.
Because, like, for example, my mom, who just passed in March, but she was a school teacher, and at her funeral, stories after stories were of how she gave back and what she did, and so she taught that to us. And we had a broadcast recently with the Emma King Foundation, and their mom, they were saying how their mom taught them to give, so they're restoring the fountain in Jones Park. So just on different levels.
Yes.
So I understand what you're saying, and it seems like that we're not a giving community, but I think there are some people who still want to, and I'm just hoping that what you're doing will rekindle that fire.
Well, you know, when we was coming up as young women and young men and boys and girls, we had a lot of resources that we could go to. We had, you know, the Mary Brown Center. We didn't have the JJK Center, which is now. We had the Mary Brown Center where people actually reached out to the young men and the young women and people in need. We doesn't have those resources, and I wish that and you know, today is Veterans Day, and I'm a diehard veteran man when it comes to, you know, the homeless veterans. You know, and my goal would be one day is to build a resource center just for homeless, with people, you know, for homeless veterans. Not saying just for the veterans, but for anybody. But I would rather start with the homeless veterans, you know. And I had shared that with my wife one time, and she said one day it might just happen. I said, well, I'm praying about it, and it's just to be. This is a start of something big, what this young lady have put together. And it took, I don't know how long it took her to pray about it and even reach out to people, but God must have gave her a revelation right away, because she called me.
Right, and I want her to tell us real quickly about that again, because we do have two more individuals who are here. They are going to come on the broadcast too.
Yes.
But don't you forget, once again, Thanksgiving dinner, along with coats, hats, and things that you might need on Sunday, November 22nd, 3:00 p.m. at the Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House.
Yes, sir.
So, Shamika, prior to going to the next guests who are coming on, tell us your vision and and what happened. How did you really get started?
Well, I had been thinking about it, but like I said, I was scared. I was fearful of it being a failure, of people not reciprocating and not wanting to be a part of it, because I don't have a lot of friends. I stay in the house most of the time. I don't really go anywhere. So, but it was just like it wasn't something. It was God. He kept pushing me and pushing me. And at times we are stubborn and we don't want to be obedient to God because He see it, but we don't see it. And we be like, no, God, I don't want to do that. You be embarrassed, or you be like, no, God, don't put that on me. Put that on somebody else.
Like, who you talking to?
And one day I was at work, and it was just clear as day. He was like, do it. So I was like, whoa.
Okay.
And I got to, I put it on Facebook. I got to calling people, and it was like, call Khalifa.
Oh, that's another thing. Give people your Facebook page when you finish, but go ahead.
And because I know the young lady that's going to come next, she's always in the community doing things. And I reached out to her, and she was like, whatever you want to do, I'm 100% down. Just let me know. My deacon, my cousin, same way. And it was like, okay, I probably can pull this off. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about us. It's about the people in the community.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And a lot of people incorporate blessings with money. Your blessings can come any kind of way. It can be the saving of your child or your health or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, every reward from God ain't gonna be financial.
Right.
And it's not gonna be money.
Yes.
That's right.
And man could never give me what God can give me. So it's not about me. This has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
And whatever God put on my heart to give, it's that day it's going to be given.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am. And tell them once again.
Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House, November the 22nd from 3 p.m. to 7, 1200 North 13th Street. We will be having a pre-Thanksgiving dinner for our citizens of East St. Louis, Illinois. We will have a clothing drive while supplies last. Whatever's there, you're welcome to it.
Okay, and you know what, I'm glad you made a point and said it's 1200 North 13th Street, because they have two sites. So it's not the one on State Street.
No.
It's at 1200 North 13th Street.
And then we're
Thanksgiving
gonna
dinner.
have flyers. We're gonna have flyers that we're gonna pass out. We're gonna take them to different parts of the city, and everybody feel free. You're more than welcome. Please join us in this historic event.
Wow.
And you don't have to question it. If you see the flyer, it's an invite. It's not, oh, call
Yes,
and
should
can
I
I
bring
come? No.
Yes.
If you see the flyer, it's an invite. Come out, fellowship with us, and have a good time.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're gonna get ready for the second half.
Yes.
And thank you again for coming on the broadcast once again. Thanksgiving dinner, 1200 North 13th Street, 3:00 p.m. on right before Thanksgiving. They're just being thankful and want to give back to us.
Yes.
Because I may just be there. Okay. Stay tuned for more smiles. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the all-new Ray's Restaurant right here at 1301 North Kings Highway, right here in the great city of Washington Park, Illinois. Ray's have a variety of tasty treats for you on this menu. Please come over to Ray's, 1301 North Kings Highway in the great city of East St. Louis, Illinois. You hear them catfish nugget order right now. Give us that phone number for carryout.
That number is 1-618-274-1830. Come and see us.
274-1830 is Ray's Restaurant. Once again, 1301 North Kings Highway here in the great city of Washington Park.
Thank you for staying with us on Smiles Television Talk Show. I told you we had a great broadcast, and we're all very thankful for the guests that have come on so far. That was Miss Shamika Weatherby, along with Deacon Dwayne Hines from the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, where the pastor is Pastor Cornell Brown. The Thanksgiving dinner, once again, that they are preparing, along with coats and hats and things of that nature that will be given away, will be on Sunday, November 22nd, from 3 o'clock until 7 o'clock p.m. at 1200 North 13th Street. That's the Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House. Right now, I have with me two guests who are going to be, they're assisting, not just assisting, they're working together in this whole venture to provide dinner for us. For those who are in need, for those who are not in need. Just if you want a fellowship, come on out. And so I'm going to introduce you to our next two guests. And our next two guests are Teresa James. Teresa, thank you for coming to Smiles Television Talk Show. You know, I remember your name because I have a good friend who is an evangelist, and her name is Trina James. So, hi, Trina. Shout out to Trina.
Hey, Trina.
And also we have with us Kalitha Liddell. And I remember Kalitha Liddell because her brother-in-law, cousin-in-law, Tommy Liddell, hi Tommy, helped, we put together that affair for Tracy Martin when he came to town. So I feel like we're among family here. So thank you for coming to the broadcast.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You know what, do you all sing?
We're on the same accord.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do with the whole situation. We're all on one accord.
And you know what,
We're all on one accord.
that's good. That's good. Well, we're gonna start with you, Liddell.
Okay.
Tell us first of all, how did you get involved with this?
Well, I got involved. I received a call from Shamika, and she had reached out to me, and she was telling me she had an idea that she wanted to kind of bring to reality about Thanksgiving dinner. You know, she was aware that, I do a lot of things in the community with giving back, and she came with this phenomenal idea about giving Thanksgiving dinner back to our community, which was an exceptional idea, and I was 100% for it. And we just collaborated with it to actually make this a success as much as we possibly can.
Okay. And Teresa, have you known Shamika?
Oh, it's actually my cousin.
Oh, she's
So
your
we're family,
cousin.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're family. Yeah.
So as she was planning, you knew from the beginning.
Right. She called me and we went up. Well, we usually always do different stuff anyway together. So this was something she really wanted to do, and she was kind of scared and was saying how she didn't know if everybody was gonna help, and so I told her she just reach out and try. But since that day to now, everything's been a good success as far as like people donating and
Okay.
Everything's
Have you
been-
ever done anything like this before?
Me personally.
Yeah.
Well, I have a teenage kid.
Okay.
So-
you said you give every day.
Well, not just that. So I'm kind of in the learning experience being a single parent,
Mhm.
and me and her personally, me just and her, we usually help kids with like uniforms and stuff some
Oh,
years.
great.
We don't do a lot, but we do like minimum, just for me to show her the steps of giving as a teenager, not looking for things in return, how it's more kids out here that's unfortunate than her. She has
Right.
a really good mom.
You know, well, that is excellent.
So-
And I'm not going to try to see how old you are, but that's just excellent that you have
Really
that.
young.
You're really young. How old are you?
Young.
It's just really good that you're teaching your child that, because we were talking earlier, Kalila, about how maybe some of that is not going on in the community anymore.
And with the kids.
With the kids.
Really with the kids. So my daughter and her daughter, Shamika's daughter, and some more kids will be their servant.
Oh, good.
And, you know, we just trying so, and like me and my daughter, and Shamika's kids' daughter as well, we are sponsoring like at least 8 kids for Christmas.
Okay.
We will be
Okay.
sponsoring
Okay.
8 kids for Christmas.
Okay.
So we got to keep it a minimum. So,
Okay.
and everything's coming out of pocket, and we got a couple people sponsoring toys and stuff, just for, you know, it's really a learning lesson for my daughter.
You know, go ahead. Go ahead.
She's very, very.
But you know what I'm smiling
spoiled
about?
kid.
Because I'm going to tell a secret. Prior to coming on the air, Teresa said, well, I don't talk a lot, and I may not say much. Sounds like she may have her own show soon. But no. Well, Kalia, also, I heard you mention that donations might still be needed.
Yes, ma'am. We are still asking for the community for donations. They're not only in the form of monetary donations. We are asking for people to come out and serve. We're asking for paper plates, anything that you feel at heart that could be used and is in need for this Thanksgiving dinner would be more than appreciated. Like I said, once again, when people hear the word donation, they simply go to the mind frame of that you're asking for monetary
Right,
donations.
right.
We're not asking just for monetary donations.
But you need that as well. You need monetary.
We
you
will be
need whatever.
gladly acceptable of monetary donations also too. But we're trying to get it out there to let everyone know in the community, and not only our community, we're talking about Washington Park, we're talking about Centerville, Allerton, anywhere far and wide, not just East St. Louis. We're trying to make this just a spread event
You
for
got a big
everyone.
vision, a
Yes,
really
a
great-
big vision. It's not just for our community, which thankful, I'm very excited because this is happening in our own community. Me and Shamika, we grew up in that area where the dinner is going to be served, which is 1200 North 13th Street,
Right.
which is Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House, which all of us frequent.
actually
We grew up there, we
Good,
played
good.
there,
Yeah.
we had arts and crafts,
Yes.
a lot of things that we don't have for our children now. So it's extra special that it's being hosted there in our neighborhood.
Well, is there a phone number or some way that they can get in contact with you so they can make these donations?
Yes, I think Shamika posted her telephone number, which is area code 618-509-3964.
Okay, say it again for.
618-509-3964. Yes, and they can also reach us through Facebook too, which I know everyone far and wide these days or have social network. You can find Shamika at Shamika Weatherby on Facebook, and myself, Kalila Richards Liddell, on Facebook. Teresa James on Facebook as well. I don't know if the deacon has Facebook. He also has Facebook. So, I mean, if you guys can't get us by the telephone, voicemails, you can reach out to us at inbox. You can email, which Facebook gives you email. They even give you Messenger. So, any way that you need to contact, please feel free to contact, get the word out, spread it, put it out into the community. We're wanting this thing to be successful. We're not wanting just one community. We're not wanting just one city of Illinois. We're wanting every small city of Illinois. We're wanting Centerville, Allerton, Washington Park, wherever.
Okay.
If this message gets to you, we're talking to you.
Wow, and so how were you able to get the Leslie Bates Center to go along with
Like
that?
I said, we all
Because they know you, because you're from the
born and
area.
raised,
Born and raised in that
played in
neighborhood.
that same place we
So
had.
they were
with.
probably really
Yeah.
pleased that you're
They
willing
had-
to do this for the community.
Yeah.
So
Some
our
of them, one of their own,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
One
our
of their
visions is
babies.
real.
There you
One
go.
of our visions is real. We actually we come from the struggle. We came from this neighborhood. This is something that we know all so well. You know, so the Giving Hearts has came from, just
Everybody.
from the
Right,
ground up,
right.
as they say.
So
It has-
let me ask you this, and because I'm amazed at this, and like I said, I think I'm a giver, right?
Mhm.
But I never put out to do something like this.
Mhm.
How can you motivate other people to
Hopefully.
do the same?
Hopefully just them seeing the generosity and the sincerity of what we're doing, and this is not a first time thing. This is not nothing that, just for the moment that, we're trying to get any recognition from. This is not nothing. This is done strictly from the heart, from our own pockets.
Mhm.
This is not nothing, we're asking for donations, but if we don't get the donations, that's
It's
fine.
still
And
gonna happen
It's
anyway.
still gonna
Everybody
happen.
knows.
It's still gonna happen one way or the other.
Mhm.
And we're just hoping that this gets out and it touches other families, other prominent people in prominent positions. We have aldermen, we have precinct committeements, we have all of these people from our area, and I hope this is touching them.
I got a question. Have you thought about doing a GoFundMe account?
You know what? One of my good friends had said something to me about it, but it was such short notice.
Well,
at the
something
last
quickly,
minute.
you still might get something. You can do that in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
So that's just another thought.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask Teresa, your kids, what are they saying about this? What kind
My
of
daughter.
feedback? Your daughter, I'm sorry.
Got
What
one
kind of
kid.
feedback? You said just one?
Just
Don't
one.
give you more. Not yet.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
she's 15, so she'll be 16. Her birthday is actually the Friday after the dinner.
Oh, okay, okay.
So she really kind of like go with mama say.
Okay.
So, but she really, like, she's the only child, so everything kind of comes really easy with her. So, and like, she's a member of
Mount
our
Olive. Mhm,
church too.
mhm.
She's a very good kid. We don't live in the community anymore. We moved to Granite, so
Okay.
it's a little bit different atmosphere for her. But she still comes to the city, and and she got a lot of friends. So I really would like people to bring the teenagers out. I really want the teens to see, it's so much going on in the streets.
Mhm.
I really want them to see something different.
Something positive.
Yeah, something so positive. And
Right.
that it's other people out here in need.
Mhm, mhm.
I just really want it to be a learning lesson for her. So I try to keep her, updated with different stuff, and
Mhm.
don't be very judgmental. But people just have a hard life. Like, you got it easy, but there's some people out here just don't have it
That's
easy.
right. That's right.
So I'm kind of just trying to install it in her now, because a couple more years she'll be out of high school.
Okay. Well, you
So
get
I
it
gotta,
in
I
now,
gotta
so.
still in her now. So
I want to ask Kalia now, we talked earlier, and you go to what church?
I am a loving member of Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church. Reverend Darrell Lee Rice is my wonderful pastor.
Okay, and
And
I
my
want to give a
wonderful
shout out to
congregation.
Reverend Rice.
Yes,
How
my
you doing,
wonderful
Reverend Rice?
congregation over there at Hopewell.
But
I
you know
love
what?
them.
Now,
absolutely
I have
love
to do this because I just recently joined a new church, and I'm giving all these shout outs and to my Pastor Curtis Gilbert from The Journey in Belleville, Illinois. I just recently became a member of that church.
Awesome.
But, well, thank you. Is there anything else that we did not talk about that you feel we need to cover?
Well, I just want to put it out there once again to everyone about the donations.
Mhm.
We are still asking and would be more than happy to receive any donations, even if it's just your service, your time as a server, or just to come out and maybe pick up trash. I mean, it could go a long way. It does not have to be monetary value. It could be paper plates, whatever comes across your mind that you feel that, God put it on your heart to just extend.
Mm-hmm.
Extend the giving in any type of way. We're still taking donations for clothes, shoes, hats, gloves, to be there for the less fortunate. And once again, this dinner is not just for quote unquote homeless, as we said, that we do not like to just characterize anyone as homeless. This is for anyone that just might want to come out, that just might need the uplift on that day,
Okay.
might need just a word of prayer,
a hot meal.
A hot
meal, or just maybe need to just get out and socialize. You might have something going on in your mind that you might need to just come out and just hear a good word, a uplift, or maybe see a smile, or
Okay.
maybe just get a hug.
See a smile.
Exactly, smiles. Maybe
Okay.
even just get a hug, just
Right.
to uplift you
That's
on
right.
that day. Whatever it may be, whatever you can get from it, please come out and join us,
Okay.
and be fulfilled in your spirit, because it's going to be a very spiritual, uplifting situation.
Okay.
Other than just being, just trying to give out a meal. It's so much
So
more
much more
than
to it.
Yeah, it's so much more to it than just a meal. This is coming from the heart.
I really, really want to thank you for coming. I want to thank Deacon Hines and Shamika Weatherby for coming on earlier as well. So let's not make this the last visit to Smile Television Talk Show. And Who knows? Because it looks like you are going to be doing some things for a long time. We
Yeah,
really
I
pray
have
that God
plans.
will
Yeah, I
bless
think
you
we have a lot of
to
plans for
continue
that.
to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to thank you for tuning in to Smiles Television Talk Show. Remember, on Sunday, November 22nd at 3 o'clock p.m. until 7 o'clock p.m. at 1200 North 13th Street. That's the Leslie Bates Davis Neighborhood House. There will be a Thanksgiving dinner and fellowship and giving away of clothing and things of that nature. Come on out, because I think I'm going to try my best to be there too. So don't be surprised when you look up and I'm there.
So we're going to
Yeah.
be looking for you.
You're going to be looking for me. So Duncan, you might have to bring the camera.
Yeah, and we're challenging all of those prominent people that's in our area, aldermen, precinct committeemen. Come on, let's get involved.
Come on, get
Our
involved.
new mayor of East St. Louis, we're calling out everyone. I am putting it out there for you guys.
All right.
Let's get involved.
Okay.
Let's get involved in our community to give back. I'm calling out everybody, all the mayors, the aldermen, everyone. I'm calling you out. Let's make this thing a success. Let's give back to our people. Let's give our city something positive to piggyback off of instead of all of the negative.
You know what? And I don't have another word to say about it. Just, you heard her.
You heard me on Smile.
That's right, on Smiles. So, and tune in every Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. on Charter Cable Channel 984. You can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget, come on, you heard her. So I don't have to say any more, but remember, Jesus is the Lord.
Yes, he is.
And the Lord be magnified in your life and mine. And happy Thanksgiving.